What good is a background check if it doesn't stop criminals from getting jobs as teachers or nurses or some other sensitive position?
The 11 News defenders have uncovered a serious flaw in the system. 11 News investigative reporter Anna Werner is here with more on what she's discovered and what one state lawmaker is already promising to get to the bottom of. Anna?
And Lisa and Greg, that legislator says he's appalled by what we found. A state criminal history database plagued by missing criminal convictions. Why? Because that could mean a criminal slips through a background check and gets a job, maybe teaching your children or working at a daycare. Think it can't happen? Investigators say think again.
Every company should need a criminal background check.
And that's what Kathy Griff's private investigation firm does.
Are we finding lots of criminals today?
Searching for the sometimes hidden criminal pasts of people applying for all kinds of jobs.
Hospital jobs, staffing companies, people in the apartment industry.
But there's one popular resource her investigators don't depend on. Why don't you rely on the DPS database?
Because it's terribly inaccurate.
The state's criminal history computer database, used by police and prosecutors to solve crimes. By law, it's supposed to hold all criminal convictions. But Kgriff says you find stuff missing a lot.
Right. Every day.
Like the case of one man who showed 3 criminal convictions in Harris County's court records. But Kgriff says
only 2 records showed up in DPS.
The missing record, a rape conviction.
So his most serious charge didn't come up in the state database.
That is correct.
But we found that's just the beginning, because our own investigation of state records found dozens of missing criminal convictions for violent criminals like robbers, sex offenders, and murderers. Like the ringleader for a group of teenage girls called the Queens of Armed Robbery from Kingwood. Crystal Dawn Maddox went to prison, but you'd never know it by looking here. This arson at a Houston McDonald's killed 2 firefighters. Edson Garza Orozco got a burglary conviction out of it, but again, you won't find it here. Even the infamous railroad serial killer Angel Maturino Resendiz caught by DPS, but his capital murder conviction also missing from DPS's own computer system.
How can the public trust a database that really isn't complete?
Well, it's as complete as we can make it.
She's Tila Mange of the Texas Department of Public Safety. She says part of the problem is that many counties don't report all of their criminal convictions to the database. In fact, a 2001 DPS report shows Dallas County only reported 19% of its criminal convictions to the state. Closer to home, Montgomery County only turned in 24% of its criminal convictions, and Galveston County only turned in half of its crime records.
We depend on local agencies. We don't have any control over what's sent to us.
Sounds like they're trying to avoid responsibility for what they failed to do.
He's State Representative Kevin Bailey, who says one way or the other, it's the DPS's responsibility to make sure those background checks are reliable.
Why weren't we made aware of how bad the situation was? Why have they, in essence, hidden this from us for so long without letting us know that there's a serious problem here?
Now, Representative Bailey says he'll be taking this up at the next hearing of the General Investigating Committee, and he wants to know why, after all this time, that criminal history database still isn't complete. Now, if you have more on this story or something else we should investigate, send me an email at awerner@khou.com or call our toll-free hotline, 877-367-5468. That's toll-free 877-4KHOU. And Greg and Lisa will let you know when that comes up at the hearings and what happens.
Please do. See you then.